Today I'm sharing 5 ways to turn cheap wood pieces into expensive looking decor that rival Pottery Barn and the Antique Farmhouse. Hey there, my name is Sandra and you're watching the Schwowin's Nest. Thanks to Adam for sponsoring today's video. Wood signs like these are available everywhere. I got mine at a thrift shop, but I've seen them at dollar stores and Walmart too. This one was $7.49 less a 30% discount, so pretty cheap. The whole thing is getting a good coat of black mineral paint. This is the color Anchor by DIXIE BELLE in their silk line, which has primer, paint, and top coat all in one. What I want to do is make this look like a print and frame that you would find at Pottery Barn or Crate and Barrel. Making the print small in the center of the frame is very trendy right now, and besides that, I like the look of it. For the front, I'm only going to paint the wood frame itself because once the mat and print are added, you won't see the lettering at all. I found this free image on Pixabay. I'll leave the link for it in my description box. I sized it to what I would need and then when printing, changed it to black and white. This is just on plain printer paper, but I cut it out larger so I would have more space to add the glue. It's getting placed on a large piece of white cardstock that I've already cut down to size for the frame. Next, I'm going to use the second piece of white cardstock and cut out the square where the print is on the first sheet. That will give it the look of being matted. I did this by using a pencil to outline where the print was and then used a knife to cut it out. When you're cutting paper or anything with a knife, it's a good idea to use a metal ruler. This one is from the Dollar Tree. Otherwise, you risk cutting your ruler itself. I've done that lots of times with wood and plastic rulers, and on top of that, it will dull your blade. I just used a glue stick for this project and only placed glue on each of the corners of the 2 cardstock sheets. In hindsight, I should have glued the whole thing because it did try to buckle a bit once I got it in the frame. Here's where I made another oops with this project. I used Mod Podge to glue the pages onto the wood board, but didn't realize that the glue wouldn't go through both pieces of cardstock, so the top one did get a bit wavy on me. I will probably redo this part of it to make sure it fits better and that I use the proper glue for everything. However, I love how it turned out and that little black and white cottage print is perfect for the frame. It doesn't have a glass on top of it, but that's not something that I miss anyway. I usually tend to take my glass out of the frames. I don't like having that much of a glare on things, but if you like to have a glass on it, then make sure the frame that you pick up has glass with it. If you're an avid crafter like me, then you'll want to check out Atom. Atom is a global creative community for makers and crafters from Xtool. There are so many ready-to-make projects, templates, and designs that will inspire you to get crafting. Using my Xtool machine is one of my favorite things to do. There are countless options for laser engraving and cutting on wood, metal, glass, and more, and even using Atom's cut files for vinyl and paper. My next project today is making a tic-tac-toe board. Here on Atom, there are so many different types of boards and pieces that you can use right away. You can download them for later or bring them into the Xtool software to customize for your needs. I chose this one. I really like the look of the engraved board. But before I begin customizing, I can check which machines this product is compatible with, what type of material was used for the project, and then I can open it directly into Xtool Studio or download it for later. Most of the projects on Atom from other creators are free to use, which is great for people who aren't sure how to make their own, who want to craft quicker and faster, and who find it easier to customize a ready-to-make idea. Once the project is loaded into Xtool Studio, I can easily change the machine, the materials, the size of the project, and make any other adjustments to fit what I want to make. Atom also has lots of different products in their materials lab, so everything you need is right here. Thanks so much to Atom for sponsoring today's video. Now let's take a look at the project I made. I found a large tic-tac-toe game at my local dollar store, so I didn't need to cut out any shapes. But they were very boring with their black and white colors, so for the white, dark wax to the rescue. I gave them one coat of the wax, and once dry, I used bronze gilding wax to make them look even better. For the black circles, I only used the gilding wax to brighten them up so they were more luxurious. I love using this gilding wax. A little goes such a long way, and it makes these simple black discs look like they came from a high-end store. It's amazing what a little wax can do to your projects to make them look gorgeous. This is my tic-tac-toe board, but right now it's upside down so I can add these little cube feet to it. I originally thought of using some of the chunky wooden knobs that I have, but it looked better with these. I'm going to add some brown wax to them so they blend in better with the edges of the board. The engraving of the board came out wonderful, and it was so easy using the template from Atom. Make sure you head down to my description box and click the link to the Atom website so you can browse all the different projects and get started with your own right away. Thanks again to Atom for sponsoring today's video. Trinket dishes are fun to make over, so when I saw this fish shape in wood for only $2.49, I grabbed it quick. I want to try a new color of milk paint, but I want more of the wood to show through, so using this crackle medium should do the trick. One coat on each side is all you need. This milk paint is by Homestead House, and you can get it through Fusion Paint. This color is called Quaker, and it's sort of a blue-green shade that has some deep tones to it, and it turns out stunning. Milk paint comes in powder form, and all you do is add some water. The instructions say to use 1 part powder and 1 part water, but I find that too runny. So I usually start with a small squirt of water and then gradually add more if I need it. And for some reason, each color seems to mix differently, so it is better to add only a little bit of water to start than a lot. This crackle medium likes to work quickly, so when applying the milk paint, try not to go over the paint with the brush too many times. I try to just go once with enough paint so it covers the area and I don't have to go over it again. If you are an impatient crafter like me, then use a blow dryer or a heat gun to dry the milk paint. I just love watching the cracks appear. It's just like magic. Once the bottom was dry, I flipped it over and repeated the whole process. And this is just the most beautiful blue shade. It reminds me of all of those historic blues and also like the deep blue sea. It's a perfect color for a fish. Here you can see the texture from the milk paint, and I decided to leave it all there, even the little chunks and bumps. I gave it 1 coat of DIXIE BELLE Gator Hide Top Coat, which is water repellent, to seal everything in. And that's a wrap on this cheap wood piece that turned into expensive looking home decor. Earlier this year, I used my X-Tool machine to make these arched wood frame-like pieces, and I'm going to add some paper to the back of this one. It has a simple gold stripe pattern, and it's from a paper pack from Michaels that I have had for years. A glue stick will be all I'll need to get the paper glued onto the wood piece. I find that these purple glue sticks tend to dry really quickly, so I like to do my paper in sections. Next, to antique the paper, I'm brushing on some brown wax. I wasn't sure at first if it was going to turn out. Next time, I'll try it on the paper scraps first before I try it on the piece I need to use. I got lucky. It's exactly what I envisioned for the paper. The top frame piece is getting a coat of brown wax too. This way it will blend into the sides of the wood better. Some of you have been asking about this little tiny chip brush that I use on a lot of my projects, and I found these at a dollar store local to my area. When I picked them up, I should have grabbed a bunch of the packets because I have not been able to find them since. These are my favorite little brushes for distressing and for applying wax and doing my projects, and I really wish I had a couple more. I've looked on Amazon, but have not been able to find anything like this. To put the two pieces together, hot glue works great. I also used hot glue to make a couple of decorative molds for the top, and I'll show you those in a minute. They're just setting up in that little red mold that you see at the top of the screen. In a previous video, I showed you how to use rub-on transfers to make decor. This is one of those, but it's actually more like a sticker. When placing this type of design on paper, you need to cut as close to the image as possible because the top sheet is very sticky and you may risk tearing the paper. I've done that before, so just giving you a heads up. Once the transfer is down, very slowly and carefully remove the top sheet. These transfers are shiny, so they look amazing on ceramic pieces too. I have a bunch of them listed in my Amazon store, and that link is in the description box. Here are the hot glue molds, and I thought they would look pretty on the top of the frame. After I hot glued them on, I used a beige color paint to make them similar to the wood shade, then added some gold acrylic paint on top. To make the wood blend in better with the gold accents, I dry brushed it with some of the gold paint as well. I thought about adding some additional accents to this piece, like small flowers or even more molds, but then it might look too busy, and I really loved the simplicity of it. From plain wood to an expensive look. I finally found one of these wooden detailed risers that you can use for a candle or just for some small decor pieces. This one is similar to some I saw on the Antique Farmhouse site, although it's much smaller, but that's okay. I've wanted to do a rustic one that looks really old and weathered, so I'll use milk paint again to get that crackle effect. This color is called Sturbridge White, and again, it's from Homestead House. It's perfect for what I want to achieve. I mixed up the milk paint powder and water and put it on quite heavily, making sure to get into all the crevices and details. Once it had dried, I took a 120 grit sandpaper and went over the whole thing to bring back some of the wood and distress all of the high points in the details. After that, I brushed on brown wax, again, making sure to get into all of those little tiny spots. And it looks a little dark here, but a paper towel wipe down will give it exactly the look I wanted. If you want your wax to come off even more, I have seen other creators use clear wax as an eraser. They put some on a cloth and then wipe it all over the decor, and it lightens it right up. I don't have any clear wax, but one of these days I'll probably get some and I'll give that technique a try. It's another example of using a cheap wood find and making it look expensive. Mine was $7.99, and the ones from the Antique Farmhouse start at around $60. I love to pick up cutting boards from thrift shops, especially if they are made from real wood and thick. This one even has a beveled edge on the top. To start, I'm adding these egg stands as feet using weld bond glue and hot glue. I get these from a local woodcraft supply store. I'll leave their link in the description box, but I'm not sure if they ship internationally. Because I used hot glue, I can continue on with this project using silk mineral paint from DIXIE BELLE. The color is Anchor. The bottom will only need one coat, but I'll do two on the top. This mineral paint has primer, paint, and top coat all in one, so it really saves time and effort. I'm not sure where I'm going to use this, but if it will be in the kitchen, I'll probably add a couple of coats of gator hide water repellent sealer too. Here's the top, and you can see that pretty beveled edge on the board. This was $6.50 at the thrift shop, and I've seen boards like this online, and they usually start at about $40 and go up from there. This project was so simple and quick, and made this cheap piece of wood look so expensive. I think black was the right choice of color too. I hope you enjoyed seeing how to turn cheap wood pieces into expensive looking decor and got inspired to get creative with your next project. If you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you could hit that red button and stick around a while. Thanks to everyone watching today. It really means a lot. Bye for now.